Welcome to day 3 of what we are going through and growing through. I have a workout shortly, that's why I'm in the outfit that I am. My trainer is here, but it's important for us to continue to document what it is that we are trying to overcome and what we're facing on a day-to-day basis, both for our own track record keeping as well as I think others that may face challenges, whether it be financial or other types of hardships. Thankfully, it is only money, the thing that is infinitely renewable, unlike time or people.
And very forgettable.
And you mean like money is forgettable?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, there's this hedonic adaptation, the treadmill that keeps us moving forward, but we get normalized to the new levels of life. But we're facing some problems. Honey, people are talking shit about us.
That's mean we are doing something.
Losing money. We're losing money, and people are upset about that.
Yeah, upset about not losing. They think I'm the one who's taking the money.
No. So there are some people that, of course, there's you
not
guys.
Not people, honey. It's your relative. Say that.
Yes, I'm getting there. There's people online that, of course, and by the way, I shared this not thinking, oh, everyone's going to be providing emotional support and great advice, and no one's going to be like, happy for our loss. Of course, I knew that people are secretly snakes in the grass. Like, great, karma got that son of a gun. I didn't like the way he did this or that or whatever. I get that. That's anything that you do online, no matter what it is, there will be people that want you to fail. There will be people that want to see the downfall of others because it makes them feel bigger and more okay with their lives. I completely expected that. I wanted to share for the people, a few percentage, that it would mean something for, to say, hey, that takes courage. And a lot of you guys in the comments, I genuinely appreciate that, said like that was a real raw conversation. And that's what I wanted it to be. We were like, that first upload was what we were feeling within an hour of discovering it ourselves. Such a massive hit to our sense of peace of mind and like
we didn't know how to react.
Didn't even know how to react, as you may see from that recording. But what was unexpected is people that know my parents. You might be watching, that called my...
I don't think that this video is for you because you are not that important to us.
No, well, apparently they don't have much going on other than to contact my parents to stress them out about, like, of course, you already told my parents that we had this financial loss, but to share how we're making an amusement out of it, how we're laughing about it. And
yeah, we don't care about the money.
Why is that their problem? Yeah. That, like, we're kind of grieving in our own way, we're dealing with it in our own way. They're like, oh, something must be wrong with them, that they are laughing about this kind of money.
They didn't actually lose the money.
No. They just think of us as like, I think careless and foolish and like kids.
Yeah, like to act like that, like they act.
And drawing suspicion that because you were laughing so much or whatever.
I'm okay with that situation. What they expect me to do? Blame my husband?
Come
on, girl.
Anyway, so that...
You are not happy with your husband doesn't mean I'm not.
Yeah, more than losing the money, that hurt more. That somebody that is in my closest circle talk shit about me, rumors about me, you don't like, I can accept that. We are here to be vulnerable, we are here to be open, we are here to be opinionated. But I want to document our story. But for someone within our inner circle that knows my parents to be calling my dad who's 72 years old, my mom who's 65, during a fasting month, to be calling them to gossip about us, I'm gonna find out who you are. If you think I have this much money to lose, know that I also have capital to figure out who you are, and we will have a conversation. That really bothered me because it's one thing, money's replaceable, but to stress out my parents?
Stress out my cats?
Yeah, these cats are shedding, bro. It's so much stress that they're going through.
Okay, it's okay.
But in terms of progress through all of the, I love this quote this morning. I was thinking about like the Jay-Z song, Tom Ford. When he said something about Mike Tyson, who was like a big boxer and made hundreds of millions of dollars. Like he said, when like all the money gets spent, all the opinions take flight. Like when you spend your money, people will judge you. Whether we bought a car with that land and made it public, whether we did something, whether I did something for us, there was going to be opinions about whatever the hell people will want to put their 2 cents in. Anyway.
Yeah, I was surprised that bothers Sal a lot.
Look, again, I'm not new to being criticized. I'm new to my parents getting involved. And my dad said, he called me this morning, which I didn't even wake up to like pick up the call.
Yeah, you told me that
I
call.
saw a missed call. And then later my mom called And then after,
Yeah, I was surprised that you said dad call. I was like, this is mom's number. What is happening,
so
bro?
After mom lectured me a little bit, passed the phone to dad, and at a certain point, dad was like, this is not the age for me to be receiving those kind of phone calls from our relatives. And I just felt so,
Teenage.
yeah, just diminished by the fact that I'm working hard to help these relatives that will need my help when they face medical emergencies, business emergencies, need to finish their houses, and I have been there for them.
Yeah.
Man,
We
it
will.
just-
to be
and
honest.
we continuously are. I mean, they go through my mom. Where does she get the money from?
Yeah, that's so funny, bro.
Yeah,
Your mom is showing all the power with the money you gave.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Anyway, outside of all of that, this morning when I was doing my morning journaling of vision and about practical steps and how I can level up my skills and networking and trying to find like the gold that is within my reach, I had this realization that just like the industrial age where 98% of the world was, or I guess the agricultural revolution, where people were mostly farmers. And when there was heavy machinery, the tractors and the things that automated the farming process, there was a huge shift that led to people working in factories. During that time, there was tremendous opportunities of people that moved to the cities and got factory jobs and assembly lines and that sort of thing. And then we moved from this like mass majority of people needing to just focus on the food supply to now 2 to 3% of the world's population needs to make the food for the rest of us. The vast majority at that time, the Industrial Revolution, people started working in factories and things, and then we went to the information era where people went from the labor work to the digital work. And I think there's a big shift happening again. People that are now using the IQ boost, the intellectual muscles of, for example, the machinery that was muscles for the agricultural revolution is happening now in the intellectual space. So now when we have a difficult problem, it's not like, how can I try to solve this problem? It's like, before I thought all the answers were in my head. Like I just need to think through and I can figure out the answers. Now it's not about us figuring out the answers. We have access to all of humanity's knowledge. It's about asking and letting the thought process, the heavy lifting of the thinking being done for us so that we can move in the general direction that we want to grow in without like needing to figure out every little step of the way. So that's where I downloaded from having ChatGPT and not really using it to the maximum, Claude, which is by Anthropic. And this is my second LLM that I'm utilizing, and already in the like 20-minute conversation that I had with Claude, I see it's huge. Differentiating
From ChatGPT.
yeah, from ChatGPT, and how it understood so much more and gave me more context, helped me to understand how I can increase my sphere of content from the niche to more of an industry, and become an authority in my space by not just working on the specific verticals of project or company XYZ, but rather talking about the industry and the signs and how to evaluate things and things to look out for, and basically a gather of information, and not just about such a very narrow niche thing that only a select few would, it would relate to, like a few hundred people. Like how do I go from a few hundred people to a few thousand people of relevance, and those kind of conversations. So in terms of skill development, which I do believe is gonna be the unlock, is gonna be the thing, the bridge that takes us from where we are to where we want to be, is stacking skills. It is now through this consciousness and intellectual IQ revolution that is happening. Now, intelligence is not required from the individual. Just download the right apps, ask the right questions, and the right question could be, hey, how can you help me to do this thing? What questions should I be asking you?
Yeah, that's the amazing thing.
That's the
like
amazing thing.
you can just ask like, how can I use you properly?
Yeah, I remember I was asking a series of questions and things, and at the end of it, I was like, what is the prompt that I could have asked you to get this information? And it gave me the prompt,
Oh
like
my
if you ask this,
God.
and then I took the prompt, and then I asked the prompt, and it gave me more bulletized version. And I realized like we should be obsessing over the conversations that we have with AI, like as much as possible integrate it into our days. Our first impulse, as robotic as this may seem, it would be to pull out like what would ChatGPT or what would like our whatever LLM would say about it. It's synonymous to like if you're gonna go anywhere, you could either walk or you could take a car that could run much faster than we could ever go on our own, and we don't yet realize that that is what's happening intellectually because we can't like sense it as much as like physical exhaustion, but there is mental exhaustion. There is like, okay, you can spend 50 minutes writing a caption, or you can have the heavy lifting of, let's say 60% of that caption kind of structured, and then add your 40% to contextualize it to your specific like story. And you know, like you can dictate a 10-minute voice note about this is what I'm trying to do and get that
I think
down
we need
to
to be more ahead about the instruction and the orders.
Mm-hmm.
Like as an example, like our editors, we need to know like how to use them. Like we need to know how to give the instruction.
Yeah, oh, that's a
Yeah.
good point, to
Yeah.
humans as well. Yeah, so that's what we're facing right now. I'm trying to give myself a little bit of space before I just get busy like an ant and like try to do the things like pushing a cart with squared wheels. It's like, okay, like what is it that I should be turning my attention to? Because I don't want to just recoup the $60,060. I want to take this opportunity to build something that is much more long-term, that doesn't necessarily just focus on this sense of like, I need to make back this money. It's how do I build a life where this money comes and
Goes,
and
doesn't
goes and
matter.
whatever, but I enjoy what it is that I do. I feel like I'm growing. I feel like I'm enjoying what it is that I'm waking up to do every day, and the money is abundant of this kind and much more. And I feel like there is something between content creation, storytelling, AI tools and services, and the revolution that's happening, fintech, and just the overall niche that is us, our story, our going through the ups and downs. And that's why it's important, because I think a lot of people really appreciate the fact that we are getting a chance to share this in real time in the
Yeah.
aftermath of what is happening. Because I would also love...
Because if we was crying, maybe they was happy.
No, I'm sure some people are happy that of course, because like, you know, they want to see the downfall of others. It's a very great pastime.
Yeah, it's really like it's kind of bothering for me because like, as a human or as a person, like it's weird. Like he or she couldn't sleep at night. There's like, when I can feel
Yeah.
the fire.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I
Oh
wanted
my
to-
God! Finally, I found something.
Yeah. No,
Humans are monkey. We are monkey too,
Yeah,
but
no, I was just telling her that
Yeah.
today. I was like, you know, we are monkey that mind our own business.
but
Our
you
monkey
never know.
business.
We can mind your business too,
Okay, so
bro. Come on.
So what we're heading in the direction of is just sharing and documenting this journey, because I do want to carry you along through not just the recovery process, but also building our lives. And I want you to see the hardships. I want you to see the difficult conversations. I want you to know that what hurt about this was not even losing the money. It's that somebody was stressing out my parents by talking gossip about us that is close to us, and that I might have
No,
helped.
bro.
And I'm in the
it
process of
was
finding
like,
you out.
Let me tell you, if it was like random people
Oh, yeah.
from, like,
No.
we don't care,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's the horrible part is he or she around us,
Yeah, someone that knows my parents'
living
numbers.
in our territory and
Benefiting
they're
from
willing,
our generosity.
anytime they can hurt us more.
It's hurting my parents, honestly. What it burns me up inside, and I'll use twice the money I lost to find you and take care of it. So with that being said, I will protect my parents from such harassments,
Okay?
and know that
Mama
it
is
just
here.
it hurts more than anything. You can say whatever you want online, but do not disrupt my parents. That is a line that is you're crossing into territories that taps into a primordial part of my brain
Like,
that I
can you
cannot
imagine?
handle.
Like, it's not a threat, bro. Can you imagine?
I don't know.
If we can be okay by losing
Yeah, this much money.
this much money, we can be okay with by losing
A lot more.
relative like you.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. So with that being said, I wanted to share this very rawness with you because I want you to know that it wasn't the money that we lost that it hurts. We're kind of like already at ease.
Yeah, we stopped
Like,
what was that called?
Tracking?
Mentioning.
Oh,
those-
mentioning. Yeah, we started mentioning the money. At this point, I'm just focused on growth and development and that sort of thing. But today, that was eating me up. That was burning me. So again, I want to carry you along the story and the progression and the growth from this. So if you happen to be part of our story over the days, which it's only been like 72 hours since that it happened, the weeks, the months, the years, the decades, you will have been here during these difficult times and know that when we get to some higher levels, what it is that we had to overcome. And that is the story I want to write, as opposed to coming out without any of these difficulties and just sharing, hey, life is great all the time and everything's working out for us, which A, is not true for anybody. B, that's not the kind of story and documentation that I want to do
As
about
we
my
know,
life.
it's not about the destination, it's about the journey.
100% true, 100% true. And the thing is, like, no amount of money is gonna make it feel like, oh, let's not do anything anymore. At a certain point, you want to find meaning and fulfillment and the things that you actually enjoy. And I feel like we're finally at the time time in the world where you can get paid to do what you genuinely are interested in and would love to wake up doing. And for me, that is telling the story of our lives and going through and growing through what it is that we are from today or from yesterday, from everything and ongoing. So with that being said, I got to get to my workout. We will catch you guys on the next of these ongoing documentations, little fragments of our lives. We appreciate any online support.
And we also appreciate your disagreement. We don't care. Thank you.
That's very true. Opinions don't pay bills, but I hope you can take some lessons and learn some things along the way, because we would rather connect with a few people that get what we're trying to share and document as opposed to the masses of people, and we're willing to pay the price of not being liked and opinions flying, as long as it doesn't get to my parents, stressing them. We'll tell our parents, whatever. That's not your job.
Okay.
That
That's
being
it
said-
for today.
Catch you guys next time. Peace.